Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of what?
Magical Melodies.
Starting now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Magical Melodies. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we are going to dive into a little thing called Lightning Lane today. But before we get into that, we're going to just start. I know last episode was Festival of the Arts.
No, sad I missed it.
Yeah, so we're going to let Keelan share a little bit about things that she really liked and maybe didn't like about the festival.
Yeah, well, I loved it, first of all. So my expectation versus reality, the expectations were pretty high, but I thought the reality of it and everything that I got to do and all the food I got to taste, I thought it met the expectations. The food was good. The carne asada was out of this world.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I think that was my favorite thing. Yeah, we did the fried cheese with the little different dipping sauces on a cute little art platter. Yeah. That was also really good. But I think my favorite thing in terms of like the art aspect of it was all of the paintings and pictures that were like lined up alongside the sidewalks.
Everywhere you walked.
Everywhere you walked. I mean, there was chalk art, which was beautiful, but just seeing like those paintings all around, it just really like brought like the park to life, and it really made you feel like you were in like kind of like an outside art exhibit,
thing,
which was really cool. Awesome. So definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend. It was a lot of fun, and I thought what was also really great is we actually got to enjoy it.
I was going to say we were able to walk.
With food and wine, we went on the last weekend, and that was crazy. But this one, we were really able to take everything in, do a lot of the activities, and it was really cute. The one thing I wish we could have done that we didn't get a chance to do was the animation class.
Yes.
That would have been really cool, but the timing didn't line up for that. So next time,
awesome.
there's always things to explore and new things that they're coming out with. So hopefully they stick with that one.
Absolutely.
And I'll be back for next time. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to actually walk instead of not being able to get past Germany like we weren't able to for food and wine.
Awful. So yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah.
We had a great time. I would say 10 out of 10.
Yep.
And coming up next is actually they started setting up for it already. You can already see some beautiful displays being built, but is the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, which is starting March 5th and it runs until the beginning of June.
It's a long one.
It's a long one. It's kind of like food and wine. It lasts for a few months. So
it's awesome. It's a really, really good one. They do such a good job. Everywhere you go, there's different garden carvings and flowers of like the characters and the water. They have all these flowers all along. It's so cool because like there's literally like carvings out of bushes and plants and stuff of like Mickey, Minnie, and Kanto, whatever. They change it, every so often, but I got to see it last year and it was one of my favorites, honestly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And now that they have the journey of water with Moana, I feel like that totally fits in because it's just so like
what you got to do this time around.
Yes, I was so happy about that.
It's really cool. We haven't done it at night yet, but I would love to see it at night. But it's just, it's beautiful during the day too. But the way it illuminates, like from videos that I've seen at nighttime, it definitely gives the vibe of Moana.
So yeah, good stuff coming up for Epcot. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be a good time.
But you know what? I don't know. I've been saying it lately. I think Animal Kingdom is winning my heart. I know. Despite popular belief, it's like
honestly, I'm with you there.
I love Animal Kingdom.
It's so much fun.
I love it.
It's just a different vibe than any of the other parks. I mean, they all have their own vibe, but Animal Kingdom is just very
and the food
specific.
Food is underrated. Everyone thinks Epcot, which obviously is amazing, but Animal Kingdom food.
I think we got the best food there.
Yeah.
All those little.
They have good drinks. They have like the corn. I can't.
Pandora. The Pandora food and drinks.
Got to check it out. Got to check it out.
Yes.
But yeah, today we're diving into Disney's Lightning Lane system, and we're just going to kind of go through it with you and how it works for those that don't know it, because it did change from last year. It was originally Genie Plus, for those that don't know, and this is their Lightning Lane Fast Pass service. So we're gonna kind of get into it now that we've experienced it a couple times, and just kind of share our intake on that, because we'll get into it more, but it goes without saying it is extremely worth it.
I think
it's extremely
so.
worth it.
I think so.
And that kind of brings us into the next segment. So what is Lightning Lane? So Lightning Lane is exactly that. Lightning Lane is the Fast Pass service that they offer. If you are staying on Disney property, you can book out your Lightning Lanes 7 days in advance. And if you're staying off property, 3 days in advance. So we've experienced both of these.
Yes.
So the first time in November when we had experienced it, we were on property and we got to book 7 days out, which was great. And we were kind of nervous this past time around because it was 3 days away, so we weren't sure if things were going to be sold out or just not available.
Yeah. But I would say we got everything we wanted and then some. Like, it was great. Yeah. So I would definitely say if you're a little nervous about that, you should be fine, unless maybe you're going like in a very, very, very busy time. Then I guess I can see there might be some.
It could always be different.
But
this
I don't know. I don't know that for a
experience.
fact. That's just speculation.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I think it was really great.
Yeah.
And it didn't even seem like a difference between the 7 and 3 days.
No, we got everything that we were hopeful for, which was great. And then like it works differently, right? So if you're starting, like, let's say you're planning to start your day at Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom is a little bit of a cheaper rate for the Lightning Lanes. They're all different. They range from, I think, 17 to 30. It really just depends on the day and the time of year. But if you, let's say, like, this is what we did. So we started our Friday in Animal Kingdom and we ended in Magic Kingdom. And we got the Animal Kingdom price because Animal Kingdom closes earlier than the others. There's no fireworks show, so it's a little bit cheaper, for that reason. But I think we paid $17 for the Lightning Lane for that day, and you are able to carry it over into your next park too.
At no additional cost.
Yeah.
The only thing that comes extra, so there's two different types. There's the multi-pass, and then there's, I always call it single rider. It's not single rider, single pass. And
for select rides.
And those typically tend to be like the very, very, very popular rides. So Animal Kingdom, for example, is Flight of Passage. So that does come at an additional cost. So you have your multi-lane, which costs us like $17, and I'm not 100% sure of the Flight of Passage price, but I think it's a little bit more.
I think it's around like 18 or 17 as well. Additional from what you're already paying.
So the multi-lane gets you, you get to pick 3 rides to start. And then the single pass, but for the multi-pass, you get to pick 3 rides. And then once you scan into your first ride, you get to jump right back on the app and then select another ride. Whether it be if you're staying in that park for a little bit, you pick one from that park. Or if, you're only doing a few rides and then hopping over to another park, you can start picking another park,
If you're on your way out and you're doing your last ride, let's say Animal Kingdom, and you get you're refreshing the app and you see something for like an hour and you'll be at Magic Kingdom, like you can book that, like you can use it. You don't have to wait until you're scanned into the park to be able to book anything for the next park that you're going to, which is really helpful because we didn't know how it worked at first or if we were going to be able to do that or not. But that just adds to what we're saying by that it is totally worth it. Some people, don't have the means to do it, and that's okay. Like you can still get your, work your way around it. It's just really about, when it comes to Disney, it's about having a plan, I would say, which I know isn't everybody's cup of tea. I always say it's not a relaxing vacation. You relax after. There's no sleeping. There's no crying in Disney.
There's no crying in Disney. That's the best. I love that.
But and like just kind of going back to, I guess, some pros and cons, if you will. The only con that I would say is that, which is not even really a con, is that for exactly that reason, if you have to, if you're looking for a ride in the next park or, a higher tier ride, you have to kind of refresh and kind of be on it. But you are almost always going to be able to find a time that somebody has canceled or whatnot. Just being what I said, you have to be on it.
Yeah, totally. And I think it kind of goes back to the point of the Lightning Lane is almost for people who really do love to have a plan. Yeah. So I know when we go, we like kind of create an entire itinerary, but that kind of helps us keep focused and get done the things that like we absolutely knew we want to get done. So the lightning lane, excuse me, it does kind of put you into that box of like you do have an itinerary that you have to follow. Whereas someone who's looking to just kind of meander around the parks,
Right.
maybe they're fine with waiting in a standby line
Not
that's
wanting
60
to
plus
really ride.
minutes,
Yeah.
not really wanting to ride all of the rides. Maybe it's not for you, but it allows you to have a little bit more of a flexible schedule if you don't do the lightning lanes. But then again, you're waiting in line, which could lead to unexpected, you know, they could be longer than they say, shorter than they say. So it kind of, it doesn't make for a totally like smooth day, if you will, if you're looking to get a lot of things done. But if you're not, then it's totally fine not to do them. I will say it is kind of nice though. You have like your 2 lines, you have your standby, and then your lightning lane. You go up and you scan in a lightning lane, and you just keep walking and keep walking. And you're like, oh, it's kind of like a relief. Like, thank God I'm not like.
And like what I always say, it's like Disney is not cheap, and like this, like another con, I guess you could say, is there is an extra cost to it. But if you think about it, it's like it allows you to get your money's worth, to experience as much as you can, because sometimes like for example, when we went to Food and Wine Festival, if we didn't have Lightning Lane, we wouldn't have gotten on anything. We were still somehow, some way able to get on everything that we had wanted to because of that. And speaking of which, I forgot to mention, Guardians of the Galaxy is no longer virtual queue. It's officially a standby. There's a little bit of controversy going on with that. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I mean, have you seen the photos of the lines? Crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, it's still single pass though.
You can still buy the single pass.
Okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy is one of those that is single pass. So
and same with Tiana, I believe. Tiana is now no longer a virtual queue or transitioning out if it didn't.
She's no longer virtual queue. Tiana, I just gotta give Kevin props to the last time we were there. We were in Animal Kingdom, and I don't know, all of a sudden he goes, like she just starts like
didn't say anything until after, because I was like, oh my gosh, like is this too good to be true? Because I didn't know like what it was, and like I was like, darn, like because we kept looking at Tiana and it wasn't there and it wasn't there and it wasn't there, and I was like, Tiana at 9:30, and I was like, let me do this, not say anything, and I was like, and then it went through, and I was like, I don't know how I just did this, but we booked Tiana. So good. That
one of those like unexpected things, because that and like Tower of Terror, like if you're doing those later in the day, they tend to show that they're like sold out. However, like Kevin said, if you keep refreshing the app and you're on the app and you're looking, you may just have like some luck to snag those for a later in the evening ride. If that's what park you're going to be in. So definitely some unexpected.
And I wouldn't even say it's all a con, because it's kind of fun too in a way. It's like, you know, when you're looking and kind of, you know, you get stuff that, you know, maybe you didn't know you were going to get and things like that pop up. But we'll be right back with just a little bit more. We're just going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Hello, welcome back. All right, we're gonna get into a couple of just like strategy tips and hacks that we kind of experience. Obviously, we're still learning too, but some of the rides that require like a little bit of a longer wait that you might want to use it for. What do you think?
I would say definitely Guardians first
Yeah,
and
now,
foremost. I mean,
absolutely.
definitely now,
Yeah.
being that it's no longer virtual
Mhm.
queue and just standby,
Mhm.
you're probably going to be waiting in that line for
It's been insane.
hours.
It's been insane.
Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say definitely Guardians, Frozen. In Epcot for sure. So we went out fine,
but because we
ran and we rope dropped it.
First thing, yeah.
I would say if you're planning to be in Epcot like midday or later, probably want to not rope drop. Get a multi pass
absolutely
for Frozen,
absolutely.
definitely, or Frozen. Ratatouille. That's another one, like rope drop it or multi-lane.
Because it's a long
sure.
wait usually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's think. For Animal Kingdom, I would say.
Safari, I would
Safari,
think.
yeah.
Safari tends to have a longer wait.
Everest is hit or miss. Like Everest could be like really quick or it could be really long. So I guess it just kind of depends on the time that you go.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Navi River.
Definitely
Navi River has a long
it's
wait.
It's so good though. It's so peaceful.
I saw like this post of people bashing on Navi River because they waited in the standby line.
Yeah.
And they were like, it was like you were just floating down the river in like Pandora, and I waited so like peaceful. 70 plus minutes for that, and I was like,
do your research. Exactly. No, exactly.
But and obviously it's not feasible for everyone financially, so not like saying anything against that.
Yeah.
But I think it also even makes the rides a little bit more enjoyable because you're not frustrated in the Florida heat, waiting in line, like. Typically, we didn't wait more than like I would say
maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes to get on something, and that's because it's like super busy.
No, but, I definitely say Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The Star Wars rides in Hollywood Studios, Rock and Roller Coaster, which is changing very soon to the Muppets. So final closing dates are in the works for that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I know.
I'll keep my comments to myself.
I know. Yeah, we'll touch on that once we get a little bit more detail. But no, I agree. Magic Kingdom, it's not always the rides that you think. Like Peter Pan is usually like a 90+ minute wait because it's a classic. Mm-hmm. Space Mountain, Tron, now Tiana, like just things to think about. Like I would definitely advise to have the My Disney Experience app and like even like a week or two before your trip, just kind of monitor like how the waits are and kind of what the vibe is.
I don't know how like you can't like do it like you can't do Disney anymore without that app.
I know. Like, oh no, it has a map on it. It's really good.
The walking directions, I will say.
Yeah, that's her job.
It's a little wonky, but I'll pull those walking directions up. I'm like, let's go that way.
Sometimes we get lost, but yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, and then just one other thing. It's like another tip that I can say is just kind of what we said in the beginning. It's like I said, Animal Kingdom. If you're gonna start your day out there and you're gonna use Lightning Lane, that's something to think about because it's cheaper as opposed to if you started at Magic Kingdom, you might be paying $26 for the day. So just things like that to plan out and stuff. But coming to a conclusion, the question that is asked is Lightning Lane worth it?
100,000 million %.
Yep. If you are able to do it, I totally would recommend because it gives you the most bang for your buck because you are paying a lot. And it's like if you're not able to, if you're waiting in Tron for 2-3 hours, like that's a good chunk of your day that you can't, you could be navigating through others.
Standing in a line.
Yeah.
And like you said, to get more bang for your buck, you could always pick those cheaper
start with Animal Kingdom
parks and start there if you're park hopping. I mean, if you're not park hopping, then you just do the one.
It's a little different.
But starting at the cheaper price parks for the Lightning Lane, then you would get more bang for your buck. Definitely.
Yeah. First time visitors, watch this video, reach out for help. Like, you know what I mean? Like we figured it out and, we are always happy to help anybody that, we're obviously still figuring things out every day, but it's like, anybody's welcome. Any way that we can help, we are here for that. But yeah, that's kind of our recap on that. Definitely recommend, And if anybody else has any thoughts on Lightning Lane, like if they've used it in their experiences, let us know. Let us know on social media, DM us, email us, whatever, because we'd love to hear about everybody else's personal experience. I think we're going to end with the positivity before we conclude.
We didn't get to do one of these last time, so let's see.
Right, let's give us something good.
Something good. I always get the impossible one, which maybe I just need to be reminded of that on the daily. But let's see. All right. What? Hakuna Matata.
That's
I
right.
love that.
It
How
means
perfect.
no worries.
Literally, for the rest of your days.
Life is gonna
love
life,
it.
but
Whoop. All right. We'll leave that.
we'll leave
We'll
that
leave
one.
that one there. Here. Go ahead.
Let's see. The very things that can hold you down are going to lift you up. From Dumbo.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
love Dumbo.
I do
Dumbo's
too.
a hidden gem.
He's so underrated.
He
He's so
seriously
underrated.
is so underrated.
Well, my friends,
Cute.
that's all for today. So happy to be back. Hope everybody has a wonderful week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. But as always, you know what we got to tell you. May your days be filled with pixie dust and your dreams be as magical as a Disney fairy tale. Until next time, everyone, keep that magic alive. And thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you.